Hey guys, long time no see. I'm actually going to be starting up a new little, you can call it a series. It's going to be I'm going to be making a bushcrafting camp. Something I've always wanted to do, and I've got the time to do it now, so why not? But I'm going to go show you guys the gear I'm going to be using first off here, and then I'm going to take a walk down to the woods, find the spot I'm going to start building, and go from there. Alright, what you see here is what I'm carrying down. This trip will be the trip that I carry the most because it's the initial. Like, I gotta bring a tarp, a bunch of paracord because I'm gonna be using a lot. And yeah, let me get into it. First, I'm bringing my axe, my bow saw. This is an 8x10 tarp for my shelter. And then in this bag I've got a stake. If you guys are wondering, this is a Swiss Army backpack. I bought it at a flea market. It's pretty awesome. I had to modify it. These straps here that hook to the belt, modified it to make it fit me. The outside here, this is my dry box. This is what I got all my matches, magnesium match, all that stuff. Just the stuff I want to keep dry. Might be difficult with one hand, but I'll get it. And this is just a bow saw. Alright. Digging into this here. On top, I got my sleeping bag. This isn't anything special. By the way, I should mention, this is January 21st right now. As you can tell, it is warm. It's supposed to be 63 degrees today in Ohio. We're having some unusual weather. So, I packed a very light sleeping bag. I've got my raincoat. These things I'm going to test out. I don't need 3 of them, but that's what the pack came with. Hang on, I'll put you down here. What they are is I folded them up. They're called grill toppers. I'm going to try to use them to cook on. You just unfold them, put it on the fire, and you cook on this surface. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. See how they work. Because this pack of 3 of these was only $4. So, yeah. Now, of course, I got 2 Nalgene's of water. Got a big pan cooking in. I've got a pot for boiling water. Oh, sorry. This is very difficult with one hand. Pot for boiling water. Has 2 cups for whatever I want to do with it. For drinking the water or whatever. Alright. Got some whatever it's called. Hot chocolate, because I love hot chocolate over the fire. A reflective blanket for reflecting the heat from the fire. That's going to go on my shelter. I'm making a lean-to shelter. Like I said, my 2 Nalgene's of water. I got a bunch of canned food in there. These are just plastic bags. This is actually a saw. I've used it before when I was climbing up a tree stand, but I'm going to try to see if I can incorporate it into the video somehow. Got a little thing of spices here. Spicing up the food. Yeah, like I said, that's just all canned food I'm going to be eating. This is a first aid kit. Hang on. Put you here. Inside is just some basic stuff. Also, I got 2 rolls of toilet paper. You'll never catch me out in the woods without it. Learned that one the hard way. I've got my flashlight and then just a basic Coleman knife, which I'm going to be putting this thing to the test. This is going to be my main used knife. I'm going to be beating this, you know, splitting logs and things with it. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, see if it works. We'll see. If not, I've always got my backup buck knife here. I know this thing's good, so I'm not going to try to use this if I don't have to. And yeah, that's that. I'm going to get everything packed up here. I'm going to head back down in the woods and find my site. I'll see you guys down there. I figured I would show you guys here. This is on a very steep hill on my dad's property here, and I'm going to go a little ways down this hill, and there's actually a natural spring with water. I'm going to settle by there. I'll show you guys once I get down. Alright guys, made it down here. This is the spot. Obviously, all this little bit of brush here I'm clearing out. Where I got my stuff leaned up here, between this tree and the big tree, this is where I'm going to make the lean-to, going straight across. And it's going to angle down this way. And then I'm going to kind of section this whole area off. Make a little campsite right here. It's not the most level, but as you can tell, that's the hill that I'm working with. The point of this series, by the way, I should mention, is I'm working with what I got. I don't have any expensive tools, no expensive knives, as most people starting won't. So that's why I'm going to make this into a series. Yeah. You guys are going to take the journey with me and see this thing grow over the next few years. Alright guys, as you can see, I got it all cleared out. Like I said, I'm going to span my lean-to between these 2 trees. It's going to be huge, but I don't really have any other options, so better to have more room though than less. So yeah, this vine here was connected all the way over there. It's connected all the way up the tree here. I've got a cool idea for it. You guys will have to stay tuned for that one, but for now I'm just putting it off to the side. So yeah, sorry I'm out of breath. That was a lot of clearing. I should also mention, right over, you see how that tree is leaning right there? Right past that is the natural spring. My dad used to come down here a while ago, and he used to collect water from the natural spring, just take it up and drink it straight out. But it filters all the way down through this hill, but I'm still going to boil it anyway, just for the sake of these videos, you know, for the fun. But I'll take you guys over there here in a little while. But for now, I got to get going. Starting to gather some of that wood laying down there. Yeah, I'm going to start building this lean-to. Alright guys, as you can see, I got the main support beam right there. It was that tree right there, it was just a dead standing. It's about 13 feet in between here, and I have about that much overhang on each end by the time I'm going to put it up to about, I don't know, about right here. Only reason why I got it so big is because there's going to be a lot leaning on this. So, yeah. All this brush on the ground, all the way around here, I'm going to throw on the back and a tarp. So, all this ground to be clear, but this has to support all the sticks and all this stuff on the ground. So, yeah, we should be good. I'll see you whenever I get some more done. Alright guys, here's a bit of an update. I'm about, let's say, a third of the way done. A little bit over, almost halfway done with the logs on top. Some hard work, I'm telling you, with that handsaw down there. This is hard stuff. This is all oak, maple, this is all hardwood. Right over there, you could probably see it. There's a pine grove. All that's pine. I might venture over there and find some softer stuff to make this a little bit easier on myself. But as of right now, I pretty much cut up that pile. There's a tree right up there I'm going to get. I can get maybe a couple more from this area, but more than likely I'll end up venturing over that way and finding some more. Alright guys, let's take a walk over here. Check out this natural spring I was telling you guys about. Just got done clearing out this path, so it's a little easier to get over there. Whew. It's real wet over here. Like, as you can tell, I'm just sinking in. My dad discovered this many, many years ago. Like I said, they used to come down here, put a pan, come back in a couple hours and it'd be full. As you can see, right here, he put in a pipe. And there's, even in the middle of winter, this thing constantly drips just like that. So what you do is you just put a pan underneath there, or whatever you can fit. I might dig it out a little bit and put that little cup I showed you guys for boiling the water. Even though this is clean, I mean, it's filtered through all the way through this mountain, or big hill, whatever you want to call it. Technically this is the highest peak in this county. My dad lives up on it, but he used to have a bunch of rocks here so he could come down, but they're kind of washed out. There was a second one there, but I think that one dried up or something over there. But as you can tell, it runs all the way down the hill. So yeah, if I want to get some water, I'll have to put a pan under it, and it should be full here in a little while. All right. And I'm back here, a little bit of an update. All I got left is this little gap. I'm not going to get it done tonight though, because I'm going to be having, it's a little bit after 3 o'clock. It starts getting dark at about 5:30. So I'm starting to gather some wood here. This bit of wood is the rest of this beam here I used. It was the very end of it. I just cut it up, and it turns out this Coleman knife is actually, oops, it's actually working. I split all this wood with this knife alone. Knots and everything went right through it, using this piece right here as a hammer. So shaved a little bit of the shavings off because I don't got any birch here. I searched all over, so I got a little bit of shavings, and I'm going to use some dry bark I got right there and some vine bark. So yeah, I'm going to gather some more firewood and possibly get some rocks as well for a fire pit. Putting it right here. I'll be back. Scored pretty big here. This tree right here, this whole thing is a sassafras tree, and completely dead. And it's, right there's my campsite. So yeah, if you guys don't know what a sassafras tree is, I'll get up close here. This is what it looks like, and it has a very, very odd smell. I can't really explain it, but you'll smell it and it smells almost bitter. And this stuff's great. I've burnt this stuff when it was wet, and it burns right up. I don't know, maybe it's the oils or something, but yeah, sassafras. All you should ever put on a steak, salt and pepper. I hate it when people put steak sauce on it. I think it ruins the flavor of the steak. We're getting there. I'd say it's about halfway there. I want it to go down a little bit more, at least get all the fresh ends in, burn up, and then I'm going to spread it out. And I made my little tripods. I'm going to stick on each corner and try her out. Alright, got her on there. Been on there for a couple minutes now. yeah, we'll see how this goes. But this is exactly why I brought a first aid kit. Sliced my finger with my damn knife. Went to go pick it up like this and caught the corner of the blade to put it back in my sheath. Luckily I was able to stop the bleeding. Took a few minutes. But yeah, just a small one. Just with bandages and random stuff. I'll be back whenever I have an update with this steak. Man, was that one of the best steaks I ever had. Figured I'd mention, they claim that these are disposable grill liners at Walmart. Like I said, that they're 3 of them for $3 or $4 or something. But I'm not going to dispose of it. I'm going to keep using this thing until it goes bad or whatever. I mean, it just got a little greasy. So, yeah, I'm going to sit down here till this thing goes down a little while. I'll probably go get a little bit of water and just pour it on there, because I'm not going to stay down here tonight, because, I mean, as you can tell, didn't get my raised bed done. Still got that gap, and Ohio weather, you never know if it's going to rain, so I'm going to put a tarp over my things, though, go back up to my dad's, sleep in there tonight, and then be back down here first thing in the morning to finish that gap and at least get the bed done. That was my goal for my 2-day trip here. Eventually, though, I'm going to line all the way around here like an enclosed, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen other people's. Well, I'm going to do the same concept. Had another idea, though. Took me a while, but I cut this log. This is a big cherry tree that fell down. It's old, but the center of it's still solid. As you can see, it's pretty solid. Hold on. Thought about cutting that end off and then making another lean-to right here, because I'm going to have friends that want to come with me all the time. I mean, people, just since I started this trip, 3 people have said that they wish that they could have came. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to dig a pole, and then I don't know, I don't like doing it, but I'll cut down a green tree probably about that size, this size, or maybe a little bit bigger. Dig about 3 feet down in the ground like a post hole digger, then tamper it in, then build a lean-to right there, a second one, so I can come down here with friends. And because this thing is 13 feet long, but it's not quite big enough for 2 people, because I plan on making my bed till about here, and then all up here I'm going to store stuff. Like, I'm going to make a shelf, and I'm going to store firewood. This is going to be a long process, but like I said, you guys will be able to watch me build this thing over the next few years. I'm going to continue coming here when I got time, slowly build onto it, you know, just as a fun project. But I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Hey guys, as you can see, I'm not in the woods anymore. It's been about 3 or 4 days since the last clip you saw, because I had to leave that night because of some issues I had at home. Got it all resolved. I ended up having to move again, actually, but no big deal. Heading back down to my dad's now, about to leave. It's going to take me about an hour and 15 minutes. And getting a late start today. It's about 9:45 right now. But I just plan on getting settled in today, basically. And I'm going to spend today and tomorrow down there. So we'll have a little bit of stuff to do today and a lot to do tomorrow. So I'll see you guys down there. Alright guys, I'm down here. As you can see, I shaved my head this morning. Yeah. My brother, when I left my stuff down here under this tarp. And the next day I told my brother to come down here and get it. But he left the tarp here because underneath I've got all that dry bark I was using to start fires. So this is where we left off. My main plan for today is I'm going to get this part done for sure, and I'm going to start working on all the small sections of logs for my raised bed, and gather some firewood. Yeah, I'll see you guys here in a few. You gotta love it when you're working so hard that you start steaming. I only got a few more logs to go here. Those big logs right there was a tree that was broken off right there. I ended up cutting it down because it was leaning right in my path and it was broken in half. Like, I'll show you here. Let me crawl under here. This was the middle of the tree, and halfway down it broke off and it was leaning over the path I walk in here, so it was unsafe to keep walking by, so I cut it down. Oh my god. I need to pick an easier tree to cut, I swear. Alright guys, here's a bit of an update. I've got the tarp on here, and as you can see, the middle 4 holes I tied with sticks I made here. This is a loop, and I basically just ran it through and then tied this stick on here so it can't pull back through. I mean, it's not going anywhere. Those are very tight. The outside too I just tied because of these were the first 2 I did, but I'll probably redo these and so they're all the same. But yeah, backside here, for now I'm just going to lean some of these heavier logs on the back, because eventually I'm just going to put all this brush and dirt and stuff on the back here, just so it, you know, when you're walking through you don't just see a big tarp laying here. It looks a little bit more natural. But yeah, so I don't got to worry about tying down the back end, because eventually all this is going to be weighting it down. But yeah, this hole right here where the tarp isn't covering, this is all just going to be for firewood and stuff. But from about here all the way over, it's about 10 feet, I'm going to make all into a bed. And I'm going to make some type of shelving, or just, I don't even know, I might just stack firewood in there. Not sure yet. But I'm going to get going on this bed here. I've already got some logs back there cut. Some of the smaller logs is what I'm going to be laying on. And then I've got a big log cut already to prop the bed up. So yeah, see you guys in a few. The tree just got done falling over right over there right before I started this. Anyway, bit of an update on my bed. I got thinking here. I started my bed like this because I found these 2 logs off that tree I cut down over there. These are pretty much green still, which I thought was going to be good because they're in contact with the ground. But I'm coming to realize it's going to be really hard to find 7.5, 8 foot logs that are straight and flat, you know what I mean, that I can lay on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 2 logs right there, put those on the ground, and cut a lot of small ones going across, sort of like that, because it's a lot easier to find a 3 foot section that's straight and flat than it is to find an 8 foot section. So I'm going to switch this up and be back in a little, just a few. Alright, this tree here that I just cut down and trimmed up, I'm going to assume it's going to be enough to make this bed, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this fat end right there for my head, because I like to have elevation for my head. I don't like to lay flat. So I'm going to put a chunk of this fat end right there for my head, and then I'm going to start with the skinny end and start right behind the fat end, work my way down. So it's basically like a pillow in a way. But yeah, I'm going to start sectioning this thing up and I'll be back. Alright, so I was way off. That's the whole tree. I'm probably going to need a couple more. I'm not going to space them out that far. I'm going to have them all butted up together, but yeah, I'll probably need 2 or 3 more trees that size. My bed was wider than I thought, so that's why I underestimated it, I should say. So yeah, I'm going to go find at least, I'm going to go just cut down 2 more, drag them over here and cut them up. See where that gets me. Time to go collect some spring water. Already drank an entire Nalgene, about 3 hours. Actually, yeah, about 3 hours. But I'm going to show you guys something here once I get over here. I plan to redo the spring here. My little brother came down last time and told me that it's messed up. It should be flowing better than it was. So that'll be another little project to work on. Alright. Whoa. Almost fell. See those rocks back there? This pipe runs all the way back there. And then they'd filled all this in with dirt. So what he thinks is happening, why it's not coming out of here as fast, is he thinks that it's not butted up against where the stream's coming down, and it's just running underneath. Which I can confirm, because it's all washed out underneath the pipe. So I'm eventually going to dig all this up, put the pipe up against those again, up against the rock, and it should be flowing a lot better. But for now, I'm going to dig this out a little bit so I can put my Nalgene underneath, fill this thing up, and it's good. I should also explain to you guys, natural spring water you don't have to boil, because it's a spring that comes from, inside the earth. My dad, up there on top of the hill, he's tapped into that natural spring. That's where all of his water comes from. So this is the water they've been drinking for years. So I can confirm it's safe, so you guys don't gotta worry. The only time you gotta worry is if it's like water like this, where it's on the ground or it's in a stream or something. But if it's coming straight from a natural spring underground, you don't have any worries. It's as clean as it's probably gonna get. So yeah, time to fill this up. All right, here we go. I cleaned out a little bit of the sand inside of the pipe. This should only take 5 or 10 minutes. That little cut in half pop can, that was from last time. My dad and my brother came down here after I stopped filming the last clip, and before I went home, and came down and cooked some hot dogs. Right as I was walking up, they came down. Would figure. So I busted through all my water throughout the day, so my little brother had a pop, and once he was done, he brought that can over here, cut it in half to fill up some water. So yeah, I'll be back over there once this is done filling. Alright guys, just went over there, grabbed my Nalgene. Check out how clear this water is. Don't mind the little bit of dirt on the outside there, but oh man, I love this water. That's actually the reason why I picked this campsite, is because, or this location is because it's so close to water. I mean, people have been settling by water since, humans have been around. So that's what I chose to do. And not to mention that this is the only flat spot on this hill. So yeah, good stuff. Alright guys, here's some progress on the bed. I laid down on it. It's not that comfortable, but I do got that pad. And I was also going to throw some brush and pine twigs and all that over there from the pine grove. I'm going to pad it on there. So eventually it'll be comfortable, but my arm is just about ready to fall off, and it's 4 o'clock right now. So I got an hour and a half to gather some firewood, get a fire going, and start cooking some food. Tonight I got some green beans, all canned food. Unfortunately, I don't have another steak. I only bought it for the first night. Spoil myself, but got some green beans in a can, some chili, and some Vienna sausages. I'm gonna cook all that up, and I'm sure my dad and little brother will probably come down at some point. Last time they brought hot dogs, but yeah. So I'm gonna scavenge around for some firewood, which is gonna be difficult because it's been raining the last 3 days, but I think there's a tree right there standing up dead that I can probably go get, cut it up. So yeah, I'll be back. You gotta love how gratifying this is here. The bottom of this tree is rotted out, but the top is dry for the most part. So once I start splitting into it, it should be alright, but yeah. I love this. This part of the job is fun. Well, there goes the camera mount, which was, by the way, just sitting on that tree. Alright guys, as you can see behind me, fire I got going. Split a little bit of wood over there. Now it's about ready to cook on. Should also mention, I always carry my Swiss Army knife. That's my everyday carry, on top of my buck knife I got. So my Swiss Army knife has this little can opener, and like I said, got a can of green beans, some Vienna sausage, just a mixed variety. You guys might call me nasty, but I'm going to mix the Vienna sausage and this chili in this pan, cook it over the fire, and I'm just going to cut this open to where I can flip the flap back right there and just put this directly on the fire, take off this label. But yeah, got some Campbell's Chunky chili, hot and spicy, just some generic low sodium green beans, and then Vienna sausage. I'll bring an update here in a few. Alright guys, I was going to say, if you guys ever cook with an aluminum can on the fire, I'd recommend just bringing a leather glove. This one's just a basic, no insulation, nothing. I use it as work gloves, but you know, when you go to grab stuff off the fire or whatever, it's going to be hot, so yeah. All I got to do is heat it up. It shouldn't take very long. But yeah. Be back when it's done. Man, oh man, what a day this has been. I'm beat again. I think I cut more today than I did the first day I was out here. But that was delicious. I ate the green beans. That's all the cans. If you guys are wondering, all those plastic bags, excuse me, all those plastic bags I have in my backpack are specifically for trash. I don't ever leave anything down here, obviously. So when I'm done for a day, I'll pack up all my trash in one plastic bag if it'll fit, zip it up and put it back in the backpack. And then when I leave this place, I'll go throw it away. So yeah. First time I've ever mixed chili with Vienna sausages. Those were original and buffalo flavored. Hey, I just had some extra canned goods. I just grabbed a handful, just some random stuff, threw it together, and that's what I came up with. But I was starving. I was starting to get tired. I actually laid down on this thing earlier and almost fell asleep. But as you can see, it's pretty dark. It's probably going on close to 6 o'clock now. I'm going to hang out here for another hour and a half or so till this thing dies down. And then probably going to walk up to my dad's and come back here first thing in the morning. I'm going to finish the rest of this bed here. I don't know if you guys could see it or not, but I'm going to finish this. And then I'm also going to get a tarp to drape over the top of this. So I have a barrier for when it rains, because it rains here a lot. So yeah, and as soon as I get that barrier, I'm going to start sleeping in this thing and actually doing some overnighters. But this thing's now livable. I mean, I can lay on this, but my feet hang off the end here. Yeah. thanks for watching today, and I'll be back first thing in the morning. What a beautiful morning it is. Hopefully it's real nice today. Should be a little bit warmer, because yesterday it was actually starting to get chilly, but I expect it though. It's almost the end of January right now, and it's been consistently between 50 to 60 degrees during the day, which is very unusual. This time last year, I was stuck out in Pennsylvania with 3 feet of snow, so just shows the difference. But yeah, heading down, be down there in just a few minutes. It's feeling pretty good this morning. Should fill it pretty quickly. Alright guys, here we go. Bed is done. A little uneven down at the end, only because it's where my legs are going to go. The only part that I really wanted to be flat, was where my back is. So yeah, put a little bit of firewood I split up there. Now, also I should mention, put a couple stakes down at the end so the logs don't roll off. Just hammered them into the ground. Yeah, you can see how high it sits. About I don't know, 3/4 of a foot. Probably about 8 to 10 inches off the ground or so. Yeah. Next, I think I want to go get the rocks for the fire pit. Start doing that. And also, I had the idea, since I've got enough rocks over there, instead of making the ends out of wood, I might stack a bunch of rocks up right here and make it look cool. I don't think I've ever seen a lean-to with rocks, so that'll be something different. But I'm gonna catch my breath and I'll go over there and get some. I actually forgot to mention, I'm gonna take you guys down about a half mile into the woods down that way, right down there, because I built a hunting blind back there a couple years ago, and hang on. Built a hunting blind down there a couple years ago. I made a video on YouTube here, but I never showed the finished product. And I added tarps to it, a few finishing touches. I finished the door. It's really cool. I haven't actually been down there in probably 3 months or so I got to check it out myself. But here in a few, I'm going to take you guys down and let you guys check that out. It's pretty awesome. Here we are. Got the fire pit. Unfortunately, these are about the biggest size stones I could get. Big enough for a decent sized fire, since I'm only about 4 feet away from it. I don't want it to be too big because I don't want this shelter to catch on fire. So yeah, got that done. I may also go throw some rocks over there by, if you guys remember where I showed you when I first walked over there, where I was sinking down. It's not like packing it just keeps sinking, so I may throw a bunch of rocks right there just to walk on. So yeah, but for now though, fire pit's done. That's just the scrap wood from last night that didn't burn. So yeah, good to go. That was my objective for the time I spent down here. I got everything done that I wanted to do. So now I think I might go get some brush for my bed, some pine needles, some pine branches and stuff, throw them on there, make it comfy. Yeah, I'll be back. Alright, here's the update with my bed. I actually didn't get the pine needles. Started to walk over there with my axe and realized all these bushes from when I first started this camp that I cut down, I just tossed over here in a pile. And I came over here and just broke off all the small ends. Like, I came over here and just got like these pieces here, just broke them off, made a big pile, and yeah, I lay it on there for about 10 minutes to try to compress it. It's going to take probably a few nights though to compress it down, but it's actually, I can lay there and it's fine. It's a lot more comfortable than just laying directly on the wood with my pad. It fills in all the little gaps and stuff. So yeah, that's the update with the bed. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I think I might just gather some firewood since it hasn't rained. I can get a little stockpile going, because I'm not staying here tonight. I'm going back home tonight, and this will be the end of the episode after today. So yeah, I think I might just gather some firewood, have a little fire, and maybe later on cook some food. Sounds like a plan. I had a change of plans, actually. I tied this stick onto here, tied it up to this knob so I can hang my backpack up. Before I had it just hanging on this. This isn't secured, and it barely hung on there, so I made a little thing for it. But I actually had a change of plans. I think that I might make tool holders and maybe a cooking apparatus. I think I might do that today instead of gather firewood, because I got enough here for a couple fires, because I don't really burn a big fire unless I need to for heat. So as of right now, I don't really need the firewood, so yeah. I think I might whittle together some tool holders, like how I got that there, and said I'll make like a, I don't know, something so I don't just gotta hang it on my lean-to. Stick it in the ground maybe. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. Beat this thing into the ground as far as I could. It's about a foot into the ground or so, and it was still loose. So I went ahead and just tied it to the lean-to. Basically like a coat rack. Just has that one. There's one right there. And then yeah. It's basically all I wanted. So now I don't gotta stick my axe in a tree, or because the only reason why I wanted my coats hung up is because when it hangs on the end of the lean-to here, it actually touches the ground, and I'll be building another lean-to right here, which I'm actually gonna get this tree moved out of the way here. It's heavy as hell. I'm moving it by myself. I may actually wait till my little brother comes down. He said he was going to today, so we'll see. But yeah, come back with an update. I'm gonna try to figure out something to do with a cooking apparatus. All right, I made a little thing so I could sit down and eat, because I had trouble. I don't like to put stuff on the ground because it loses heat very quickly. So I made this little thing. This little bit of log was what was left of the firewood. It was the very end. It was like really punky. So I just ended up tossing it over there, but I cut off the end of it and I put the flattest rock I could find on there, and yeah, that'll just be my little stand, little stool to eat on. I'll put my pan or whatever on there and eat off of it. But I'm gonna walk down there to show you guys my hunting blind that I built a couple years ago. I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. These gigantic trees are becoming more rare nowadays. This tree specifically is dead. It died probably about 10 years ago. In my childhood though, when it was alive, all those vines, we cut a few of them. We'd come down here and swing off of these things. This was like my favorite tree because of how huge it is. I don't know if you guys can get a perspective on how big it is, but I'll walk over there in a second and compare myself to it. It's huge. Grabbing a chunk of this cherry tree. This thing fell over. Right there's my blind. I saw this thing sticking in there off the ground. It's all dry. Some good hardwood right here. I'll cut it up once I get it back there. All right, got a little fire going here. I'm gonna cook me up some hot dogs. That's all I brought down today was beef hot dogs. I don't like the regular ones, so I always just get beef. But yeah, I'm gonna make myself some lunch here. I'm hungry. Come back with another little update after I'm done eating, I guess. Cooking hot dogs isn't very exciting. Everyone's done it. Screw it. I'll film it anyways. Alright guys, just relaxing now. I'll be honest, I didn't really have much planned after what I just got done. Even though I gave myself an extra day, it all got done. I might call it an early day today. I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit and just relax, enjoy my time, and then I'll probably go home. So I think this will conclude this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the beginning of my base camp. And yeah, thanks for watching.